Good morning. Good morning. Today is the 29th March and it is a Saturday. We are going to continue with the graph of our quadratic equation in the factored form. Graph of quadratic equation in the factored form. In the previous video also we have done the graph of a quadratic equation in the factored form. Today we are going to continue. Alright. So when we are asked to plot the graph of a quadratic equation in the factored form, then we need to follow the steps. We follow the steps. We can have the graph of a quadratic equation in the factored form in 3 steps. The calculation will go in 3 steps, right? These 3 steps will give you 4 ordered pair, and those 4 ordered pair then plotted on the graph paper on the grid, and then we join the 4 points and we get the graph. Alright, so this is the actual process, this is the complete process. Now if I show you one more example with a question, this is question number 6. Question number 6, your equation is 2 into x minus 3 into x plus 5. 2 into x minus 3 into x plus 5. This is our question, and you can see that this question is in the factored form. Now hereafter you should be able to identify the type of question, the type of quadratic equation. Clear? The moment you see the question, you should be able to know that this question belongs to factored form. This question belongs to standard form. So you should be able to differentiate each type of quadratic equation. So this is obviously the factored form of a quadratic equation. Now we will plot the graph of this, right? So the graph of this will be plotted in 3 steps. Again I am reminding. Step number 1 is X intercept. We calculate X intercept first of all, then we calculate the vertex, and then we calculate the Y intercept. So once again I am teaching you in very much detail. So please be very mindful. Now here with X intercept I have also written zeros of the polynomial. So we can use the same, we can use this statement also in place of X intercept. In place of X intercept, we can also call it as find the zeros of the polynomial. Zeros of the polynomial. So the meaning is same. Sometimes the question will be to find the X intercept. Sometimes the question will be to find the zeros of the polynomial. Is this very clear? Now, last time in the previous video, I have already shown you that when you plot the graph, suppose this is a grid, right? And then this is the graph of a parabola. Is it okay? Then where are the 3 points? Where is the x-intercept? Where is the vertex? And where is the y-intercept? Now we should have a very clear picture. X-intercept means on the x-axis. Where will be this x-intercept? It will be on the x-axis. That means your parabola cuts the x-axis at 2 points. You know that your parabola, it cuts the x-axis. This horizontal line is your x-axis. It cuts the x-axis at 2 points, right? And those 2 points are called as the x-intercept. And those 2 points are only called as the zeros of the polynomial. We can either call this point as the x-intercept or the zeros of the polynomial. Is this very clear? So, now when you are calculating the x-intercept, because these are the 2 points on the x-axis, so fx will become 0. Fx means what? Your y. Fx means y. So when you are calculating the x-intercept or the zeros of the polynomial, as you know that the 2 points will be on the x-axis, and therefore the value of fy will be 0. So by assuming the y is equal to 0, we can calculate the x-intercept or the zeros of the polynomial. So from here, one thing is very clear, that x-intercept can be calculated by assuming y to be 0. X-intercept can be calculated by assuming y to be 0. Is it okay? The moment you assume y is equal to 0, you will be able to get the value of x-intercept or the zeros of the polynomial. Let us have a look. I am going to calculate the x-intercept. So I will write here. Maybe I can write x-intercept or I can write zeros. Okay, anything, x-intercept X intercept. We are going to calculate X intercept. So X intercept. For this, as I told you, we will assume fx to be 0. So fx is equal to 0. Clear? Now this left hand side is equated to 0, and therefore the right hand side also will become equal to 0. So 2 into x minus 3 into x plus 5. This is equal to 0. Please see this very carefully because I am going too slow. For calculating x intercept, your y will be taken as equal to 0. By taking y is equal to 0, you are able to calculate the x intercept or the zeros of the polynomial. So we have taken this right hand side fx as equal to 0. So this your equation, this original equation reduced to this. And from here we will continue. First of all, this 2 will go to the other side. 2 is a multiplier. When it goes to the other side, it will become a divisor. So 0 will be divided by 2. 0 divided by any number is always equal to 0. So x minus 3 into x plus 5 is equal to 0 divided by 2 is equal to 0. Is equal to 0. Now you have your equation x minus 3 into x plus 5 is equal to 0. Now the product of these two terms is equal to 0. So we will equate one by one both the factors as equal to 0. And that's how you are getting the two x intercept or the zeros of the polynomial. So the first value of x will be from here. Directly I can write x will be equal to 3. When you write x minus 3 is equal to 0, right? You will write x minus 3 is equal to 0. And therefore, let me complete otherwise again. X, first of all, we will equate x minus 3 as equal to 0, right? We will equate x minus 3 as equal to 0. This implies your x become 3. Clear? Likewise, now we will equate this part is equal to 0 and we will get another value of x. So, or x plus 3 is equal to 0. This implies your x is equal to negative 5. So here you can see x intercept is calculated by assuming fx as equal to 0. So I took this fx as equal to 0 in the original equation, and then I took the right hand side, and then that right hand side also is equal to 0 because here actually it was supposed to be fx, but fx because we have assumed as equal to 0, therefore here we have 0. And now we are simplifying. So first of all 2 will go to other side so that this x can be calculated. So 2 went to that side. How it has gone? It is equal to 0. After this, now we are left with x minus 3 into x plus 5 is equal to 0. So the product of these two factor is equal to 0. So either this is 0 or this is 0. That is why the product of these two is equal to 0. So we are equating them one by one and getting the two result, the two values of x. And these two values of x is called as the zeros of the polynomial or the x intercept. So your step 1 is done. Be very mindful. See how it is come done. Next one is, now we are going to calculate the vertex. Now we are going to calculate vertex. Vertex. Now when you are calculating the vertex, we need to know the physical meaning of vertex. Vertex is the minimum or the maximum point of the parabola. I told you before also. Again I am repeating. That vertex is the minimum or the maximum value of the minimum or maximum point or minimum or maximum value of the function or of the parabola. So here when it is facing upward, I told you that the minimum point will be said to be the central point of the parabola is said to be the vertex. This is vertex. Please remember, when you are calculating the vertex, for vertex you at least know that it is the minimum or the maximum point of the parabola, right? It is the central point of the parabola. The meaning of central point is that this point is at equal distance from the two x intercept. So we know actually its actual location with respect to the two x intercept. Is this okay? Therefore, when you have to calculate the vertex, first of all, we will calculate the value of x of this vertex. Because this x is at equal distance from this and this intercept. Is it okay? So immediately we will calculate, first we always calculate the value of x for the vertex. Vertex, we calculate the value of x. Is this okay? So x, how do we calculate? Because it is at equal distance from this intercept and this intercept, therefore the value of this x, vertex x, will be the average of these two x. This is your minus 5 and this is your plus 3. Right? So, and this is at equal distance from plus 3 and minus 5. Therefore, we can find the value of x for the vertex first. And that value of x will be calculated by finding the average of the two x intercept or zeros of the polynomial. So, it's a very simple task. 3 minus 5 divided by 2. Average. Average, how do we do? Add the two quantity and then divide by 2. So, this is minus 2 over 2. Your answer is minus 1. So, for the vertex, now you are done with the x value. Now, after you have calculated the x value for the vertex, now we have to find the y value for this. Right? So, how do we calculate the y? Go to the original equation. Go to the original equation. And in the original equation, using the original equation, we will calculate the value of y. This value of y, when you are calculating it for x is equal to minus 1. You will use this value. Minus 1 is equal to, now continue, 2 into minus 1 minus 3 and then another bracket minus 1 plus 5 is equal to, now 2 into minus 1 minus 3, you are adding, so they will be added, minus 4. When you are adding, we don't use the sign rule. Then minus 1 plus 5. These are the different type of numbers, so we will find the difference. So the answer of this will come 4. Right? And finally, the product will be 4 4 16, 16 to the 32 minus 32. So this way, now we have completed the second task. The vertex coordinate is also calculated. The coordinate of the vertex is also calculated. This is minus 32. Is it very clear? Now we are moving on to the last step. Last step is we are now calculating the y-intercept. Y-intercept. Y-intercept we are going to calculate. Now where is the y-intercept? Y-intercept is the point on the y-axis where the parabola cuts it. The point where the parabola cuts the y-axis. This is a parabola. And this parabola cuts the y-axis, the vertical axis, at this point. At this point. So this point is said to be the y-intercept. Is it okay? So about the y-intercept, because it is on y-intercept, therefore the value of x will be equal to 0. Right? We need to remember always that on y-axis, anywhere on the y-axis, the value of x is 0. Clear? So we have put the value of x as equal to 0. Now we have to find the y coordinate of this one. For this y-intercept, we have calculated the x coordinate. Now we are going to calculate the final task, that is the y value of this y-intercept. And for that, we can again use the original equation. In the original equation, using the original equation, we will calculate the y value of y-intercept. So this we can calculate by putting x as equal to 0 is equal to, now 2 and then 0 minus 3 into 0 plus 5 is equal to, this is 2, 0 minus 3 is minus 3 and then 0 plus 5 is 5. So 5 3 is 50, 52 is 30, this is minus 30. Now we are done with all the calculation. I am pretty sure that the way I have explained you the 3 steps of doing all the calculation, after that you should not have doubt, right? But this is a sincere request to all of you. please take plenty of questions based on factored form and then do all these calculations and then plot the graph, right? Minimum 5 to 10 questions. Minimum 5 to 10 questions you practice, you will become very comfortable, and by doing so, you will be able to secure 4 marks in the board exam. One single question can give you 4 marks. It's very, very important. After all the calculation is done, then now I will be showing you plotting the graph. So all these 5 points will be plotted now. All the 4 points will be plotted. This X intercept, this X intercept. These two will be plotted. Then the vertex of the coordinate of the vertex. The coordinate of the vertex will be -1 and -32. So we will make a pair of this with these two numbers. These 2 points will be plotted. Please be very mindful that this is the value of X and this is the value of Y. So these two together will give you one pair of number, right? And last pair is this 0 and -30. So with these two number, or you can make fourth pair. So this is one value, this is another value, this will give you one value, this is another value, this pair of number will give you third point, and this pair of point will give you fourth point. This pair of number will give you fourth point. This way we will be able to get the graph of a parabola. So now I am going to show you the graph of this parabola. After all the values, all the 3 important results are calculated, finally now we are going to plot the graph. So my grid is ready and I am going to demonstrate, I am going to show you how do we plot all these 4 points, right? So start with the X-intercept. The first X-intercept is 3. So mark X is equal to 3. So we will mark X as equal to 3. Let us see. X is equal to 3. This is the first point. Is it very clear? Next point is X is equal to -5. So we will mark this as X is equal to -5. Alright. Now, next one is the vertex. Now we are going to plot the vertex. Where is the vertex? Vertex, the value of vertex X is equal to -1. X is equal to -1. So X is equal to -1 is this point. And then from here, for the vertex, because you have in pair, right? You have in pair. The vertex coordinate is in pair. So X is equal to -1 is here. And then from this point, you will go either up or you will come down. Depends on the value of your fx. This fx is negative, therefore we will come in the downward direction. So from -1 we are coming in the downward direction till -32. This is 30. So it will be little bit less than half of this. So we will say this is negative. This is the point. This is the point. Are you able to see this? Are you able to see this point? Okay. With red blue color, I will make it more clear now. So this became your vertex. Then Y-intercept. Y-intercept is X is equal to 0. X is equal to 0. And Y is negative 30. Y is negative 30. So this is your X is equal to 0 and Y is negative 30. So this is your fourth point. Now you can see here all the 4 points are marked. After these 4 points are marked, we can now join them and complete the graph. So I am going to complete the graph. Sorry, my hand got shaken. We have to join this with a free hand. Okay. Okay. And this side also similarly. We can join this side also. So now you can see your graph. And this is how this question gets completed. Graph of factored form of quadratic equation. Is this very clear? Thank you. Okay, now the next question I am taking is question number 8. This also belongs to factored form. So this is the third question in the sequence. Third question in the factored form. But this question number 8, when you watch this video, I will request once again all the viewer to please sit with textbook. Especially question number 8 is because it's a word sum. Now we are entering into the word sum. We have done the number questions. We are done with the number question. Now I am taking you to the word sums. So word sums, the question will be lengthy, right? Therefore you need to sit with the question and then you watch this video. Before you watch this video, I will request you to please have you read question number 8 at least one time, and then see this. It will be very clear. Question number 8. Deki sells flour. Deki sells flour. If she sells 1 kg for a Newton 20, right? The question is, if she sells 1 kg, okay, the quantity, let me show you quantity, right? And then the rate, quantity and then the rate. There are two things, right? Now the question says, if she sells 1 kg for Newton 20, if she sells 1 kg for a Newton 20, this rate is in Newton, okay, and this quantity is in kg. So if she sells 1 kg for a Newton 20, right, then she expects to sell 50 kg per day. In that case, she is able to, if this is the rate, then she is able to sell 50 kg in a day, per day. Then per day sale is, per day she can sell 50 kg. If this is so, this is the condition. When the rate is 20 Newton per kg, then she is able to sell 50 kg. She is a shopkeeper. And this is her own observation. She is sharing her own observation that when the rate is Newton 20 per kg, then she was able to sell 50 kg. Clear? And for every increase in the price of Newton 1, that means when the price of the flour increases by 1 Newton, then her sale decreases by 1 kg. Are you getting me? When the price increases by 1 Newton, that means from 20 rupees, if the price becomes 1 rupees more, that is 21, then the sale will reduce by 1 kg. So for 21 rupees rate, the sale will become how much? 49 kg. If this increases by again 1 more rupee, that means the price will now go to 22 Newton. Now the price has increased by 2 Newton. Therefore the price will go down by, the sale will go down by 2 kg. So for every increase in the price by 1 Newton, the sale will decrease by 1 kg. So we can connect this with our real life, with day-to-day life, right? Every time the price is increased, the sale will decrease. And this is what happens in the normal market. When the price is low, the sale is more. When the price is high, the sale becomes low. Right? So the sale is always inversely proportional to the price of the commodity. The sale is inversely proportional to the price of the commodity. More the price, lesser will be the sale. Is this very clear? So this is the situation. When the rate was Newton 20, the 20 Newton for 1 kg of flour, then she was able to sell 50 kg. Every time the price of flour increases by 1 Newton, the sale decreases by 1 kg. So this is the concept. This is her observation. Now with this observation, now the part A of this question, what the question says? Part A. Now the part A question says, part A, Roman number 1. Part A, Roman number 1. It says, write an algebraic expression to represent the price of each kilogram. Price of each kilogram. If the key increases the price by Newton X. Now we have to write the expression. We have to write an algebraic expression for the price of each kilogram if the key increases the price by X Newton. So first of all, I talked to you about this price in terms of Newton, physical meaning. When the price is 20, then the sale is, then she is able to sell this much, right? Next time the price is 1 rupees more, the sale will decrease by 1 kg. Is this okay? Now here, according to the statement, we have to write the increase in the price by X Newton. So when the price increase was 1 Newton, you wrote the expression for the rate as 20 plus 1. When the price increases by 2 Newton, you are writing the algebraic expression for the rate as 20 plus 2. Likewise, when the price increases by X Newton, then the rate will be written as 20 plus X. And that will become the algebraic expression for the rate. So for the rate, 20 is the base price and the increase is X Newton. Okay. So this became the algebraic expression for the price, the increased price of flour per kg. Am I very clear? Now second part of this question is, they are asked to write only the algebraic expression for the rate in terms of this increase in the price, increase of X Newton. Another part of this question is, now you can see here the price has increased by X Newton. Now second, Roman number 2, represent the number of, now write an algebraic expression to represent the number of kilogram the key expects to sell for each price increase of Newton X. Now from here we have understood when the price is increases by 1, then the decrease in the sale is 1. Increase in the price is 2. The decrease in the sale is 2. So the increase in the price is same as the decrease in the sale, right? With whatever price you are increasing, by the same quantity you are decreasing the sale also. So here now we have to write an expression, algebraic expression to represent the number of kilogram the key expects to sell, right? So per day sale. Per day sale. What will be the per day sale after this increase in the price? When the price increases by this, by the same quantity the sale also is affected, no? The sale also will decrease, and the sale was, when this was the price, then this was the sale per day. Now from this sale it will decrease by the same quantity X. I told you, no, that when this price increases by 1, the sale decreases by 1. When the price increases by 2, the sale decreases by 2. When the price increases by X, the sale also will decrease by X. And therefore decrease means minus. So we got the per day sale, 50 minus X. Is this very clear? Now the part B of this. Part B of this is, use your information from part A. Now we have got some information in part A. This is the rate and this is the per day sale. Now we have to use this information to write a function representing the baker's total sale. Now we have to write the function. So the variables we have used is X, therefore we will write the function also in terms of X only. Is this okay? Now this function, how do you calculate the total sale or income from the sale? Income from the sale. As a shopkeeper, you know that this is the rate, right? And suppose, just go for this one first of all. This is the rate, and then you are selling 50 kg. How much money are you going to receive from the sale? Common sense. This is the rate, and this is you have sold in a day. how much money you have received on that particular day. You can get this by multiplying, right? So the product of the rate and the per day sale will give you the income from the sale, right? So this fx is the income received from the sale, and therefore this will be the product of this and this quantity. So this becomes 20 plus x and then 50 minus x. Did you get it? So this is your part B. Now after completing part B, what do you notice? What kind of equation is this? What kind of function is this? Look at it. You are getting the picture, no? This is a quadratic equation in the factored form. And therefore, the third part of the question says, in C says, sketch the graph. Sketch the graph. So, we are asked to plot the graph of this one. Now, when we are asked to plot the graph of this one, you know obviously that we have to follow the 3 steps, and then we will complete all the 4 ordered pair, and then we can plot it on the graph paper. So after this, I am going to show you the. I'm not now here. I don't need to explain you. I am directly going to show you the 4 steps, right? And then I will show you the graph. After graph, then we will have one more part of this question we will discuss. Okay. So I am going to show you the calculation and the graph. All right. This was your function. This is the function which we calculated, and after that we are asked to plot in the part C. In part C we are asked to plot the sketch the graph. In part C we are asked to plot the graph. So this is our part C. This is our part C. We are now working to plot the graph. Is this okay? Since this is a repetition of the question, we have done similar question. This is the third similar question. Therefore, I am not showing you the work, but then of course I will explain. First of all, we calculated the X Intercept because this is your quadratic equation in the factor form. So we are calculating here the X Intercept, which we also call as the zeros, right? So you know that we do it by assuming fx as equal to 0. So, and then when you put this fx as equal to 0 in this original equation, you do the calculation, you take this as equal to 0, then you take this as equal to 0, and therefore you are getting the two values of x, minus 20 and 50. And this is your X-Intercept. Done. Next we are calculating is the vertex. Vertex, you know that when you are calculating the vertex, first of all we calculate the x value of it, and that this x value of this will be the average of these two numbers. Therefore we have added these two, and we calculate the minus 2 plus 50 is 30. 30 divided by 2 is equal to 15. And then after calculating the value of x for the vertex, we are then calculating the value of y by putting this value of x in the original equation. And we got the value of y as equal to 1225. Last step is Y-Intercept. We are calculating now Y-Intercept. Y-Intercept we always calculate, you know, by assuming x as equal to 0. And then for this value of x, we are calculating the value of y. And we can use the original equation, and we can put the value of y as x as equal to 0 and calculate. You got the value of your y as 1000. So all the calculations are done. All the calculations are done. Now we are going to plot. So we will plot this point, this point. Is this okay? So x is equal to minus 20. Okay, now when we have drawn the coordinate, I told you last time also that the scale that you are choosing on the x-axis and the y-axis, it can be different. You can choose one scale along the x-axis, and along y-axis you can have a different scale. That depends on the values. That depends on the values. So here my x values are minus 22 plus 50. Therefore, I have taken scale as 1 unit is equal to 10. And then the values of my y are coming very large. 1225 is the maximum. Then is 1000. Therefore, I have taken one scale as equal to 200. Okay. So this can be different also. Not necessary that you also follow the same process. I have taken along y-axis. I have taken as 1 unit as equal to 200. Maybe if you want, you can take 1 unit as equal to 100 also if you have enough space. So it depends on the space that you have. Now I'm going to. So this is the first of all 2 point. We will plot it. The 2 point on the x-axis is first of all is minus 20. That is this point, and another value of x-intercept is 50. So this is your 50. This is your 50. Two x-intercepts are plotted. Now we are going to plot the vertex. Vertex will be the pair of number 15 and 1225. So x is 15. X is 15. That means it will be somewhere in the exactly in the middle of this division 15, and then from there we will go vertically up because 1225. So we will 1225 is just little bit more than 1200. Okay, this is the point that we have. This is the point for your vertex. This is the point of your vertex. Is this very clear? This is the point of your vertex. Now next one is the y-intercept. Next one is y-intercept. So y-intercept, your x is 0 and y is 1000. Y is 1000. So it is exactly this point. Got it now? So all the 4 points are marked. We have to now join it with a freehand. This is your parabola. Is this very clear? This is the end of your graph of this equation. After this, there is one more thing that they have asked you in part D. In part D. Part D says use your graph. Now use your graph to estimate the price that will result in the greatest daily sale. Now the last part of this question is D. Use your graph to estimate the price that will result in the greatest daily sale. So price, what will be the greatest price? What will be the price? Which price will give you the greatest daily sale? Right? The value of x you have calculated for what value of x? This is the greatest sale. Right? This is the greatest sale. The question is use your graph to estimate the price that will result in the greatest daily sale and the total daily sale. Total daily sale. The greatest total daily sale is 1225. Right? Greatest daily sale. Greatest daily sale. This is 1225 Newton. Right? And this sale you will get when the price is what? This is corresponding to 15, right? Now you can put the value of x here and then you will get the best price. So the best price will be 20 plus 15 is equal to 35. So when the price is 35, then the sale is the maximum, which is 1225. Is this very clear? So with this, we are ending the lesson today. Thank you so much. Keep practicing. Stay at home and take care. Thank you.